Hello everyone and welcome back to another part of my F1 23 My Team Career Mode here in Season 1 for the Miami Grand Prix here in the US. The first of two US Grand Prix this calendar year. We might put in Austin next year because I do really like the track as a whole. But if you do remember last time out in Australia, we did get our best result of the season, but at what cost? Coming off the back of that insane wet to dry race in Jeddah, where we could have finished in the points, but we gambled. We went with an interesting setup that made our car faster on the straights, but very, very twitchy in the corners, and that didn't help us. But somehow, in qualifying, it didn't affect us with the fresh tyres, and we managed to get finish P7 because of that track position we had. Felipe Drugovich 18th in the race. He probably lost a couple of positions because we were holding up pretty much the entire field. But you know, not much I could have done now. I was pushing for that whole race in general. We can't really do anything on the R&D at the moment, but because all of our upgrades are going all at once. And I was thinking about buying another spec on the facilities here. Obviously, I bought that aerodynamics, quality control. And I'm thinking I'll buy it for the powertrain as well to get spec 2. But we'll wait a bit of time. And all three of our upgrades succeed. That is brilliant. That's exactly what we needed. So now we will be able to do some upgrades. We'll do this major weight reduction. And that's all we can do actually for now. And then our energy store is blocked by personnel. Then we'll decline that. Don't want Drugovich losing any experience. Thank you very much. Pretty obvious decision. But yeah, coming into Miami, I'm going to go with a higher down. I'm going to increase the wings. Cause even if it might cost me in the straights, Miami is quite a medium speed circuit, and so that's going to be quite important for us getting that cornering speed, the exits. So now, you see we did buy that build time instead of quality control for the powertrain. So we do have spec 1 there now, and we have another department event that could reduce Drugovich's experiences. I've already said no to that, but we will lose 1,000 team acclaim. But I'm going to have to do that anyway. And our other upgrade also did succeed, which is very nice indeed. We'll see if we've got any other upgrades. Maybe engine power for Imola. That might be quite good. But it would be quite effective. But Imola's not maybe the best circuit to put an engine power upgrade on. So I'm going to save up and go for that ERS upgrade, I think. Because, yeah, I can't do anything anywhere else. So, now let's start the season break. And there we go then. Done that. That was fun. And even our... So our suppliers look like they're bringing in upgrades as well. Very nice of Ferrari, I believe. Thank you very much. Now let's see if we can now possibly buy a ARS upgrade after this next weekly resource point. I don't think we will. Yeah, only 933. We need about over 1,000. And then our major weight reduction, which would have come on, has failed. So that's quite annoying. Although we did have our fair share with luck, but that will come in guaranteed then in for Imola. So that should be good. And yeah, our Ferrari bringing even more upgrades, so that's very nice. So, but now let's head to the race weekend, the Miami Grand Prix. One of my favourite shaped circuits on the calendar. We'll put it that way. Okay, then as usual, first a look at the R&D to see how we are stacked up compared to the other cars. Looks dry on the weather forecast, but we'll see. But we make a huge gain. We're now ahead of Alpine and best of the rest. We're behind that top 5, but still, that's really good because of McLaren's obviously performance upgrade. So we will take that 100%. So now we've done practice, a bit of R&D to spend, but I actually do here forget to spend it, if I'm honest. So we're gonna go straight into qualifying, and honestly, our car really should be getting into Q3 now. Obviously, Drogovic a rookie. I'll let him have a bit of time, but Q2 should be a guarantee now. First lap then here in Q1, coming to the end of it. We actually went purple in the middle sector. As you can see, we're last at the moment, 2 minutes to go. We left it late, but this is our first lap. And up to the line then, purple in the middle sector, a very decent first sector. This is going to be our one and only flying lap, and it's fastest of all. What? Where's that lap come from? A 1:28.974, and I have no idea where that lap's come from. We're the only driver to breach into the 1:28s. Felipe Drogovic, P21, I said he should be making it into Q2, should not be being out-qualified by Yuki Tsunoda in the AlphaTauri. Like, let's be honest, really that's quite disappointing. But P1 in Q1, we will absolutely take that 100%. So here we are then, our first lap in Q2, second lap overall on the used set of tyres. And we have got a driver on our tail, Oscar Piastri. And this lap's not been the best. You could see I went a bit late. I couldn't get the car to turn as well as I'd hoped. But we're going to be holding up Piastri for this whole lap, essentially, especially in this sector. He's really going to lose time, as you'll see. Not the best of sectors from us, not the best of laps from us, to be honest. Really just poor overall, especially here going deep and then just trying to spin it back and then going deep again. He actually tried to overtake us there, but we defended to the inside. And up to the line, it's a 1:31.9. That's 1:39.088. That's 3 seconds slower than our Q1 lap. Well, not 2 seconds, 2 and a bit seconds. But we will go again then. Piastri did go slower than us, so we weren't dead last, but to be fair, we were holding him up quite a lot. As you could see, about 2/10 off that first couple corners alone, and 1.6 seconds gains. Lost a bit at the end, but P5 it is. And that's going to be the session. P9 for us at the end. Lewis Hamilton topping it by 7/10, a 1:28.1. That's come out from somewhere, Lewis. Jesus, mate. What a lap from the Mercedes, man. Incredible. Fernando Alonso as well, knocked out in the Aston Martin. He's been out-qualified by Lance Stroll. What? That's very unrealistic. But Daniel Ricciardo, Oscar Piastri, both Australians out there, as is Alexander Albon, Pierre Gasly in the Alpine, Fernando Alonso, as I have mentioned, and Valtteri Bottas. But it's Lewis Hamilton who tops the section with an absolutely stonking lap in Q2. Here we go then, first flying lap in Q3. As I said, we should be making it into Q3. We have made it into Q3. And let's see where this lap stacks us up compared to the rest of the field. Pretty average first and middle sector. 1:28.8 by Leclerc. Ooh, the AI have clearly picked up the pace here in Q3. But up to the line we're going to go. Our best laps are 1:28.9. This lap's going to be a 1:29.5. So 6/10 there is to find in this lap. Apologies, I missed a bit of editing out here, but you can see what goes on behind the scenes, you know, a bit of insider information. That's going to be fun, isn't it? But P7 then at the moment, ahead of Ocon, Stroll and Perez. Not a good lap from him. We're going to go out now on the soft tyres, on the new set of soft tyres once again. Left it very late though. And we have a wild Red Bull in front of us. I believe that's Verstappen, if I'm right. Yes, it was Verstappen. And now we're 7/10 up at the moment, and Ocon is going to do us a huge favour here. Look at the toe he's given us, and look at the timing screen top right. We were 7.5 tenths up. He's giving us a massive toe here. He's given us 0.2 of a second there in that one straight. Thank you very much, Esteban. That is most appreciated. But we're P9 at the moment. Stroll's going to be P10. We are going to be... Did I see that right? P3. Yes, P3. Where? What? I knew there was 0.4 to find to match our Q1 lap, which would have put us around P6, I believe. But P3. Thank you so much, Ocon. It's most appreciated. Wow, P3. Without that Ocon toe, we would have been P5. Our Q1 lap would have put us P7? No, P6. So, well, Ocon, mate, I have to thank you for that one. Huge toe from him. But it's a Red Bull front row lockout, as you'd probably expect. A 1:28.4 and a 1:28.5. Hamilton unable to replicate his Q2 lap, only a 1:28.7 from him, which will put him P4 on the grid and alongside us on the second row. Iceman, what a cold lap that was. But now I don't see why we shouldn't head into the race, but we have to do our R&D that we left out, and that minor tyre wear I'm still not going to do because I have a drag reduction upgrade to do, but I might not do that either because I have an ERS upgrade. I was thinking about this for a bit of time and decided that I'll go for the major ERS upgrade. We do have the best engine on the grid, which I only just noticed. That's maybe why we were so good in quali. And it should hopefully protect us from the cars behind us. So, yeah, let's head into the race.
Welcome to the Miami International Autodrome, home of the Miami Grand Prix. This exciting track circumnavigates the Hard Rock Stadium, home to the National Football League outfit, the Miami Dolphins. With great opportunities for wheel-to-wheel battles featuring 19 corners, 3.36 miles long, and expected average speeds of 138 miles an hour, the Miami International Autodrome will be sure to create lots of chances to overtake. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, edging out Sergio Perez, who lines up P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Iceman, Hamilton, Leclerc, Norris, Russell, Sainz, Ocon, Stroll, Bottas, Fernando Alonso, Gasly, Albon, Ricciardo, Hulkenberg, Tsunoda, Magnussen, Joe, Drugovich, Sargent, and Oscar Piastri. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. And alongside me once again for coverage of today's race is none other than the great Anthony Davidson. Now, can I get your take on Max Verstappen? That was a great win in the last race, but can they keep that momentum going into this weekend?
It's always nice to come into a Grand Prix weekend on a high, but your expectations are based much more on your practice and qualifying runs, so it's the momentum from those sessions that they'll be hoping to carry into the race today.
Okay, we've got that relief of having points on the board finally, so let's keep that form up and get another top 10 finish today, please.
Cheers, Mark. P3 on the grid for us then, and the strategy is recommending a medium soft over the soft medium, which is very interesting indeed. The top 11 all starting on mediums or hards, followed by 3 soft runners. So actually that's the first time the majority have gone on the mediums. We will also be going on the mediums. It says the fastest strategy, so that's what we're going to do. I thought about the medium hard. If the tower is high, then we will go on the hards. But I put way too much fuel in here, so I lowered it down, but still, I've still put a bit too much fuel in and was going on for a bit too long. But P3 on the grid, it's been interesting to see how Hamilton does on the hards behind us as we begin the formation lap, to see if we should go onto the hards. But P3 then is going to be very good for us if we can get clean starts, hopefully jump Perez at least, if possible even Verstappen. Grid's forming up now. I'm ready, Mark. P3 on the grid then, 5 red lights ahead of us for the Miami Grand Prix. It's lights out and we are underway here in Miami. It's a really good start for us. Verstappen moves the cover off Perez, but we take advantage of that and go round the outside of Sergio Perez, get a snap of oversteer twice, go complete opposite lock, but we are up into P2. I repeat, we are up into P2. This is not a drill. We have overtaken a Red Bull. I don't know how long we'll be able to stay ahead of said Red Bull, but it's really, that was a key move in our race. But as you're about to see, the Red Bull is in a different league to us. We are deploying ERS and Perez still sticks with us. And Verstappen already 1.3 seconds up the road as now Checo Perez, less than a tenth behind us, going for the move on the inside. We're going to brake late, squeeze Perez to the inside, and then we'll have the inside line for this right-hander, and that really helps us out. When we get go once again, another snap of oversteer. Have I messed up these wings again for the second race in a row? I hope we haven't. This is such a crucial race. It was in our driver career as well, where we made huge R&D steps. But there goes Sergio Perez. Look at the difference between that Red Bull and us, but with some slipstream, can we go back round the outside, pulling out from behind the slipstream? Can we go round the outside of the Red Bull? No, we can't, and that is Perez overtaken us. It barely took him 1 lap. So, 3 seconds up the road to Max Verstappen, and now 1.4 seconds up the road to Sergio Perez. As DRS now enabled, Leclerc going for the move on us. Hopefully we don't go too far backwards in this race, and we do manage to hold off Leclerc for now. But yeah, as I was saying earlier before Perez overtook me, how dare he, I hope our race isn't like that one in Miami in the driver career, because we DNF'd in that race due to an engine failure. Let's keep the DNFs to a bare minimum, please, durability. But Leclerc, lap 3, going for the move on us. We're defending. We were leading the race at that point in Miami, in the driver career. Hopefully we will be able to get into the lead at some point this race as well, but it seems unlikely with that performance from the other cars, especially that Ferrari, which is very slippery in a straight line. But our engine right now is really helping us defend, sticking to the inside as well. Really crucial, but Leclerc will now have that inside line and he will get ahead of us, but we could try and go back round the outside. We're going to have the DRS, we're going to switch to the right hand side, the inside line. Can we go down the inside? Russell thought about it as well, going round the outside of Leclerc, making it 3 wide. But now, going wheel to wheel with Leclerc, we'll now have that inside for that right-hander. That's crucial. Yes, we do ahead of Charles Leclerc, but is he going to fight this? He is going to fight this, and he does re-overtake us up into P3. What a battle we're having with Charlie Boy right now. I think he's always been in the lead, Mark, but sure. But now with DRS and a lot of ERS, can we come back at Leclerc, or is Russell going to make the move on us? Gaining. Yes, we fly by the Ferrari, who does squeeze us a lot. But we are still hanging in this P3 position, which is very important for our race. But after those first couple of laps, we haven't really had many oversteer issues. You'll see the occasional snap, but I think I'm on top of it in general. which is nice to know. But Leclerc now will have DRS, and I think this is where Leclerc will overtake us for good. We're going to go to the inside, Leclerc's going to go to the outside, and yeah, that's a pretty simple overtake, to be honest, before we even get to the braking zone. But we are going to dive back down the inside of Leclerc. And but that snap of overs did not come at the right time, but we do manage to stay ahead. Do we? No, Leclerc, man, does fight us, but will we? He's not got DRS open. And he goes deep. We go for a switchback move, but we take too much curb there, and Leclerc is now ahead of us up into P3. That's our chance for a podium. Gone up the road, unless we can get back at Leclerc ASAP. But we won't. We'll be unable to. We stuck in DRS for a bit, but Leclerc is just in a Ferrari, has a bit too much pace. As now George Russell on those hard tyres, both Mercedes starting on the hards then, going for the move on us. It's unsurprising, but it's a real shame that we aren't able to hold this position. Sainz, by the way, out of the race with an engine issue. You can see it on the mini-map in the bottom left. We take a lot of curb there, and Ocon's going to capitalise on that. We don't think I actually got any damage. I don't know what Mark's talking about, but can we come back at both of them? We're going to go for the move on Ocon. We're going to go for the move on Russell, make it 3 wide. Ocon also goes through. And can we hang it around the outside? Maybe squeeze right flat out against the wall. But somehow we do keep that P4. No idea how. We made such a massive mistake taking way too much curb there in the end of Sector 1. But Mark really wants us to change strategy to the hards. Maybe we should listen to him. But I checked with the vehicle condition that there's no damage, and there isn't. But Russell now that's the last thing we need to worry about at the moment, damage, because George Russell takes P4 right away from us. That was as easy as taking candy from a baby. No difficulties whatsoever. Russell clearly has a bit more racecraft than Leclerc, but we will dive back down the inside. And he go for the... Have we just been switched back by an AI? Wow. Fair play, George Russell, but you're not having the position. Sorry, mate. Still P4. Lap 7 and now lap 9. We actually have dropped Russell and Hamilton. They fought a bit with each other and with Ocon, but that is really crucial for our race now to not let them have DRS so we don't just drag them along. As now Felipe Drugovich into the pit lane, our teammate, hopefully going on to a reasonable set of tyres rather than pissing from the hard so early like he's done previously. But we will see. I'm not sure what positions he's in at the moment. And now lap 11, we come into the pits for the soft compound tyres. Tyre has not been too bad, and that is the tyre we will be going on to, the softs. Good turn-in. Yes, thank you. Let's see if we're going to be undercut by George Russell. But we have a pit stop issue. No. 5 seconds. That's 3 seconds stationary. Than we should have more than we should have been. And we are now dropped behind Esteban Ocon and Valtteri Bottas. And we've been undercut massively here by George Russell and from Lewis Hamilton and from Fernando Alonso. Oh, that's so frustrating. We've got a comeback drive now. This is going to be... This first couple laps is going to be so crucial. We're going to have to clear both Ocon and Bottas, preferably this lap. And then we're going to have to chase up I think that's Stroll and Russell up ahead. We're going to have to chase them up as well. But Bottas is first on the menu, and we will take that down the inside. A pretty textbook overtake here around Miami. And now Ocon on this straight, if you don't mind, please, Esteban. Is that okay with you? Good, thank you. I was just checking, because we have a huge slipstream, just like we did in practice. We've gone purple in the middle sector, which is very understandable with that DRS and that slipstream we had off Bottas. and we're going to go for the move before we even get to the braking zone. They're both on hard tyres, I might add, which has helped us a lot. We move ahead of Ocon and up into that P13. Still outside the points though, and everyone has made their pit stop. And now we've got 2.5 seconds to catch up to George Russell's. Now we do move up to P11. A couple people, Hulkenberg and Joe, had not pit yet. Now they have. So P11 outside the points. And, well, I'm not sure where all those other points have gone, but because Russell's clearly got undercut as well. And speaking of Russell, down the inside, thank you very much of Russell before we get to the braking zone with a lot of ERS, and now down the inside of Lance Stroll as well. We could leave him a bit too much space to work with, but we do still keep that position up into P9 and into points. So that we doubled our points there in one move. There's now Gasly and Albon up ahead. I don't know where they've come from. They must have had absolutely massive undercut to overtake us. I asked for the driver in front to see if Gasly's pit yet, but yes, he has. As now we burnt a lot of ERS to catch up to them. Gasly just overtook Albon, and they have been fighting, which has helped us a lot. But can we go for the move on Mr. Alexander Albon? Round the outside, maybe. I think he was sizing up a move on Gasly, but he ended up going defensive on us, and we will take that position. Thank you very much. Up into P8. And now Alonso has undercut us, just confirming. 2.5 seconds, but I can't see us catching up. All these guys around us on mediums, their tyres, the race will begin to come towards them, and this is why it's crucial for us to overtake Gasly as soon as possible before our tyre wear kicks in. It's really important for our race. As you can see, I thought about moving around the outside there, just couldn't get enough on it, but we're going to have to overtake Gasly this lap. It's necessary we overtake Gasly, especially if we want to catch up to Alonso, even though I don't see that being very likely. So, and the good thing about Miami is there's 3 DRS zones, 2 of them extremely long, which are really, really going to help us. But then we will see. We go a bit deep there, but we get a good exit out of this corner. Gasly, we just actually stay in DRS of the French man in front of us. And now gaining down the straight, we're actually out of ERS, and we still can't go for the move. And we actually have been closing up to Alonso slowly, but surely we are closing up to Alonso. So maybe it'd be best to stick behind Gasly, but I can't see us staying in his DRS for much longer with our tyre wear. So I'm going to go just for the 7th here rather than 6th, and a huge toe off Gasly now. And Mark confirms we will be losing some tyre grip now on these soft tyres with 2 more laps to go, but pretty easy overtake for us. Gasly gives us the squeeze, but a textbook overtake. And Alonso at this time, 1.6 seconds ahead of us, but Gasly here, we fight him a bit, and that goes up to 2. So P7, hopefully, as we move on to the second to last lap. And in clean air, importantly, which is crucial for us to stay ahead of Gasly. But the problem is we don't have that much ERS to play with. And end of lap 19, this is evident. I haven't used any ERS all lap, and we're into single digits trying to defend from Gasly. As he tries to go around the outside, we block him off. No thank you. As we move on to the last lap. Now Albon seizes that opportunity and goes for the move on Pierre Gasly. I sure will, Mark. As we start the last lap of this race, it shouldn't be too hard to keep a Williams behind us, especially as he did drop out of DRS a bit, but we did pull away from him a reasonable amount, 0.8, but he will be deploying us all of his ERS, and he's gaining rapidly, but he doesn't go for the move, and that's really important for us, because that means we are going to go equal our best result, and with a much more legit way of doing it, a genuine P7 it is for us. Lap 20 of 20, Thank you very much.
Okay, pick up my man, Rio. And that's the checkered flag. What an amazing victory in what has been a great Miami Grand Prix. Well, Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today. But what set them apart from the rest?
I really feel the track layout combined with the track temperatures we saw today suited their car. These cars are alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature, and the driver did a great job managing that as well. It just looks so comfortable out there. It's like anything, it always looks so easy when it just clicks.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently, and it's clear to see that they've put in the work, and they should be so proud of the victory they secured here. So let's review the updated driver standings. Max Verstappen should be pleased with his performance, making gains at the top of the table. Some amazing talent out on the track today. But Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
Max Verstappen seemed to just effortlessly weave through the other drivers today without a care in the world. He was definitely my driver of choice.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. And pulling further ahead in the standings, it's Red Bull. I'm equal parts exhausted and elated with this weekend of Formula One, so be sure to join us for the next one.
P7 from P3 for us, about where our car is. Good drive from Fernando Alonso, P12 to P6 after his early Q2 elimination, if you remember. A Red Bull 1-2 though, some things are just like real life. Drogovic, 20th to 18th, very solid drive from him. Expect a bit more though at this point, as Max Verstappen now takes a commanding lead of 34 points in the driver's standings. We're currently got 17 points, P6 in the constructors and P8 in the drivers. But it's going to be very interesting to see how that changes going forward. But now, if you have enjoyed this episode of my F1 23 My Team Career Mode, do make sure to smash like and subscribe. It does help out so much. And I'll see you guys next time for the Italian Grand Prix in Imola. Goodbye.